it's like what was depicted in Godfather 2 with Hyman Roth and Michael Corleone sitting in Florida, having a little chat about the future. And Mr. Hyman Roth says, nobody wants bloodshed anymore. It doesn't pay. If you can avoid it, if you can avoid a war, you might have to whack a few people every now and then, or drone them to death, or something like that. But generally speaking, we want a smooth operation. Let's all get on the veranda and stop all this squabbling among ourselves, which the system of white supremacy is a criminal enterprise. And so let's sit on the veranda here in Cuba or someplace, and let's bring out the cake, and everybody get a slice, and that will be symbolic of everybody's going to share, in all of our operations in the future, and everything's going to be smooth, and so sit back and eat your cake and enjoy it. Everybody's going to get a slice and give me a small piece. See, that's the white supremacists' new philosophy, the refinement stage of racism.
Now, how long?
And that's what they're telling the white people of the world.
Right.
See what I mean? Because they're having squabbles among themselves, just like they had a so-called civil war over who's going to be in charge of the slaves. Mm-hmm. And how best to handle slaves. Mm-hmm. What do you do with them after you've had them and you're ready to kind of throw them away or disperse them or whatever? How best for the future? Because you got to think about the future if you're going to keep this enterprise going. Now, the average white person born into the system asks the same question that the average non-white person asks. You're born into a system that's already been in place. So a white person would ask, what kind of system do we have in place? What is this all about, Father? What's this all about, Dad? Mom? And say, well, unfortunately, some of them very sympathetic toward black people, the non-white people of the planet, say, unfortunately, our ancestors set this up, and we're a part of it. It's been passed on for generation to generation, and we just don't have a better system. We're working on it. We're trying to come up with a better system, hopefully a system called justice, but it's kind of difficult to get there when you have all these conveniences in a system that works very well. The system of white supremacy works better than any form of government that the world has ever seen. It really does. It's very productive when it comes to material movement. In other words, arranging materials. But it's not productive when it comes to arranging people. It destroys hundreds of millions of people in order to get trinkets, in order to get lipstick and fingernail polish, and just, and also heavy equipment, farm tools, automobiles, airplanes, rocket ships that can go all over the space areas. It's a very efficient system when it comes to that. But it leaves hundreds of millions of people on the factory floor. In fact, it's gearing up to even take care of dogs better than it does people, because there are huge numbers of white supremacists who believe that a dog is really better to have around than a non-white person of any kind. And
that's deep.
A lot of non-white people have come to believe that.